Baby, are you in? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If we are meeting for the very first time, my name is Sandra Aneno and you are?
Maria, my is Aneno.
And this is Everything Mama. Now Maria turned 3 last month, I turn 30 tomorrow. We're filming this on a Tuesday, you will watch
Mama's
this on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Yes it is. And I'm so excited for this week's episode because I'll be discussing something very personal to me.
Happy
I did some research online.
Mama.
Baby, can I finish?
Me.
Let me finish first, baby.
How about me too?
Anything you want?
Yes.
Oh, can I first finish?
No.
Come on.
No.
Baby, if you're not willing to work with me and do teamwork, you go.
I'll work with you.
And do teamwork?
Yes.
Okay, so are you willing to keep quiet? Mama finishes?
Yes.
Thank you. So like I was saying, I'm very excited for today's episode because I'll be discussing a topic that's very personal to me. I read about it online, I did some research, and the title that I came up with along with the research that I did is 8 Uncomfortable Truths About Life, but I'm pimping it up, not a lot, and naming it 8 Uncomfortable Truths I Have Learned Turning 30. We'll be right back, don't go anywhere. Baby say bye.
Bye.
Welcome back from that break. Now a few weeks ago I was on my Facebook page and I was scrolling through and I fell on something that triggered this episode, for lack of a better word. I fell on a picture that led to a story, and it was entitled 8 Uncomfortable Truths About Life. And I knew within my heart that I wanted to do something for my 30th birthday in terms of the episode, so this is it. I'll be expounding more on the 8 uncomfortable truths I have learned turning 30. Truth number 1, here goes. Are you ready? I wrote in my book. It said, quitting is for winners. Now, the author of this, Mr. Rex Pacton, together with Steve Bartlett, they admit that it's a contrary opinion. It's not very popular because people will tell you quitting is for losers. If you quit, you're weak. But sometimes knowing when to quit is actually the best thing that you could ever do, because the faster that you quit, the faster that you can start on this other new journey that you need to embark on. So in my book, I wrote, knowing when to quit, change direction, leave a toxic situation or relationship or lifestyle, demand more from life and yourself, and knowing when to give up on something that isn't working and move on is actually very good. It's an uncomfortable truth because, like I told you, people will tell you if you quit, you're giving up. Oh, how can you leave that job? Oh, how can you leave your partner? Oh, how can this be like this? Why haven't you started on this yet? But sometimes knowing when to stop, knowing when to throw in the towel, knowing when to let go is actually better than sticking around and tying on a situation that isn't working out for you and is actually wasting time that you cannot retrieve back. That is truth number 1. Quitting is actually for winners, or rather knowing when to quit is for winners. Truth number 2. If they really wanted to, they would. And I also apply this to myself. If I really wanted to, I would. How did I write down? This is it. If you apply pressure on people, they will do what you want them to do. If you take the pressure off, you'll see what they would rather do. Do you get the distinction? If, for example, I want something out of someone and I am on them, I'm persistent, I'm like the widow in the Bible who would not let go until she got a solution. Someone will budge and do it. Why? Because I'm exerting pressure on them. I need, this must be delivered. They'll do it. But if I expect something from someone and I don't apply any pressure on them, I will see what they would rather do, which is actually what is within them. So, have at the back of your mind, which is something that I have at the back of my mind as well now that I'm turning 30. Don't waste your time fighting for something that isn't working out. Don't waste your time trying to fix things that are not working out. If they are toxic and they are not good for you, weigh your pros and your cons and know when to let go. Realize at the back of your mind that you cannot force things to happen. You cannot force people to be what you want them to do. At the end of the day, they are going to do what they want to do. So know when to press, know when to step back, know when to fight, know when to let go. That is truth number 2. Truth number 3. Call yourself out. Call yourself out, you people. What do I mean? I mean be able to self-evaluate yourself. Be able to have difficult conversations with yourself. In my book, I wrote, the most common reason why people keep making the same mistakes is because of their insecure ego. Now, this insecure ego prevents them from taking responsibility for their own actions, their own toxic traits, and their own mistakes. About a year ago, I realized that growing up, I wasn't very easy to call out. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I was very defensive. And once in a while, it still comes back. But like growing up, it was borderline defense. Like it would be very hard for someone to call me out, and I take it properly. But now I'm at that point where before someone calls me out, I want to be able to call myself out. When I call out people right now, I'm basically letting them know that your action or your speech or your inaction was not acceptable. Why wasn't it acceptable? And I give you reasons. That is me calling someone out. But now I'm talking about you calling yourself out. Calling yourself out means that you care more about your future, your progress and growth more than just protecting your ego. See, for example, I've come to learn that I procrastinate a lot. This is something that I had to self-evaluate and come to terms with. I'm a person that used to procrastinate a lot. 2, growing up, I'd like to think I exercised sympathy, but I wasn't very empathetic. So now these are areas in my life that I've been calling myself out on, that Sandra, you need to do things when you say you're going to do them. You need to be more empathetic. Put yourself in people's shoes. Try and understand where they're coming from. It's not always about you, Sandra. Like, another thing that I also call myself out on is when I get too busy where God is concerned. I fell on a picture that said sometimes we get so wrapped up in the busyness that is life that we kind of lose track of why we were actually put on earth. Because as a believer, I believe that I was created and put on this earth with a purpose in mind. And like for the past year, I'm just trying to put myself in a mental space where I'm able to like slow down. I possibly can't be getting too busy for the one who is actually holding my life. What am I doing? I'm working so hard. I'm chasing after this so much that I cannot find time to just slow down and listen. What's going on around me? What's going on with my friends, the people in my circle, the people that I call close to me? What's happening with them? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, no, but I'm saying that at least I've developed the behavior where I'm able to call myself out, catch myself and be like, Sandra, no, that should not have happened. What are you going to do about it? So truth number 3, call yourself out. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth and evolution. Truth number 4, taking no risk is the biggest risk that you could actually ever take. Think about it. Before I began this project of #everythingmama, like I told you, I would procrastinate a lot. This is something that I've wanted to do for so long, but it is just this year that I finally bit the bullet, and I was like, you know what would be so wrong if I took a chance on myself? What would be so wrong if I actually decided to go for this thing consistently? Like, what would become of it? Because I do have visions and I do have goals, but for them to happen, I have to be willing to take the risk. To succeed, you have to be willing to take the risk. I wrote down in my book, you have to risk failure to succeed. Think about it. You have to risk rejection to be accepted, because before you walk up to this person seeking a friendship or a relationship, there is that fear that it might go either way. I might float, I might sink. But you go ahead and you do it anyway, and that's the risk that you take. So in life, take risks. I'm not asking you to make silly decisions or to make decisions that are not safe for yourself and for people that are around you, but I'm talking about that business that you wanted to start. I'm talking about that blog that you wanted to start, that business, that course that you wanted to study, but you've been holding yourself back. This is the time for you to take a risk on yourself. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? If I believed in myself, if I chased after this thing that I say I'm passionate about, what could, like, what are the possibilities? They could be endless. You could fail, but you could succeed as well. So think about that. The next truth is this. It is not your job to fix damaged people. It is not your job to fix me. It is not my job to fix you. That is something that only you can do for yourself. That is something that only I can do for myself. I wrote in my book, I read on that link, and it said, it's so powerful. It said, your responsibility to help someone will never, and I underlined it, never outweigh their own responsibility to help themselves. Has that sunk in? Your responsibility to fix my brokenness can never outweigh my own responsibility to fix myself. What am I saying? I'm saying that before you set out to try and save someone, that person has to have some sort of desire to save themselves. Before you can rescue me from like a toxic relationship, I must want out myself, because if you come speaking to me and I'm in a mindset where I'm not yet ready to change this, or I'm not yet ready to let go of that habit and begin afresh, I'm just going to be defensive. I'm just going to come off as, why are you telling me this? You don't understand me. You're out to get me. You hate me. You do this. But actually, no, it's just that I'm not yet ready to be fixed. It's because I'm not yet ready to make that change. So when it comes to like fixing damaged people, the best that you can do, or the best that I have learned that I can do at this stage in my life, is be there, is listen to them, give them a shove in the right direction. But at the end of the day, I cannot fix them. Neither can you. And then something that is very worth noting is this. It's worth asking yourself and myself why you resonate so strongly with someone that so desperately needs fixing in the first place. Why is this important to ask yourself? If I find myself being drawn to someone who in my eyes I consider broken and I want to fix, I have to ask myself, why am I resonating with that person? Why am I so drawn with that person? You get? And then you realize that often more than not, my own or your own toxic romantic and non-romantic attachments tell a story about an issue that I have to deal with myself. Do you get? It's kind of like how you see a speck in someone's eye, but you have a log. Let's say, for example, I am drawn to someone who is battling a tough situation in their life. Maybe it's a trait within them that they need to battle with and they need to bring under control, or maybe it's an addiction, whatever it is that turns them into damaged people in quotes. You want to self-reflect, because usually it is an issue that you have within yourself that is drawing you to that so-called damaged person. So the good thing with this is that if you let it, your being drawn to that person can actually also help you reflect on what you have going on in your life, and actually also help you get better if you're willing. So in conclusion, this point, remember that your responsibility to fix a damaged person or someone who is battling something cannot outweigh their own responsibility towards themselves. This is something that they have to do by themselves. These are steps that they have to take by themselves, steps that I have to take by myself. Joyful right now, who is one of my longest time friends in life, is shooting this episode. But she can testify that growing up, I think relating with me was not very simple for this very what? For this very point. Like, to fix people when they are not ready to be fixed, to fix people when they do not want to be fixed, or to fix people when they don't even know that there's something within them that needs to be fixed. Do you see all the internal wars that this person has to go through by themselves for them to reach that point, maybe where they are willing to listen to you or to let you lend a hand here and there? That's the truth. It's uncomfortable, but it's the truth that I have learned and I carry with me now as I turn 30. Next point. Closure is your choice. I wrote your in capital letters. Closure is your choice. Closure is my choice. I wrote down in this book from the authors of this that I was reading about in preparation for this. It said closure isn't an apology or justice or release or answers. That is insecurity. Say, for example, if I had a friendship going on. Actually, yeah, let me give like a live example. Let me pick from my life. I already am, but let me be more vulnerable about it. Up until about 4 years ago, I had about 2-3 friends who were very, very close to me. But life happened, and right now we are what you'd call perfect strangers. Like at some point we were this close, and then now like we are not. And for some of the relationships that have relationships, yeah, some of the relationships that have drifted apart, those I let go because I acknowledge within me that it was time for them to do what? For them to end, or for them to, that season had ended, yeah? But then there are some relationships that just kind of severed without any really reason or answers. Like basically relationships that need closure, exactly, answers to why, when, how. But how? Was it me? Could it have been? All those are insecurities that you have within yourself that are making you, or that make me want to have the answers to those questions. And yet it's not about that. Closure isn't something someone can give you. Closure is a choice that you make. I wrote down here, feelings are unavoidable, let's be honest. For you to feel frustrated, angry, for you to feel unheard, for you to feel like no, this doesn't make sense. All those are very normal. Acknowledge them. But what you do not want to do is let those feelings or those emotions lock you in a place where you're unable to move. Because you don't have closure, no. Some people will not give you closure. It has happened, you know it. Right now in your life, there are people who you have questions that only them can give you the answers. But trust me, you don't need those answers to move on. You don't need those answers to live a better life. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge whatever emotion you have. And then after that, make the choice to either let those feelings or emotions empower you, or make the choice to allow them disempower you. Closure is your choice. Closure is my choice. Our next and probably last point, I think, is this. Second last. If you are happy alone, then you'll be happier together. Whether with your partner, your husband, or even your friends. But my point is that happiness starts right here. Happiness starts with me. There is no type of affection in the world. You will search high and low outside of Jesus. But like earthly speaking, there is no type of affection that can fill the void of a person who does not already love themselves. That one is not there. Let them not lie to you. You cannot give other people what you don't have. You cannot love if you yourself don't love yourself. You can't respect others if you yourself don't respect yourself. There is no independence. There is no personal security in attaching yourself to a secure person. What am I trying to say? You can't ride on the emotions of someone else. You can't ride on someone else's confidence. You can't ride on someone else's patience. You can't ride on someone else's empathy. No, it has to be your own. It has to start with you. Whatever such it is that you're running after, it has to start with you. You get? You have to start with yourself. If you're happy alone, if you're content alone, if you're accepting of yourself by yourself, then all these other aspects that come in, the love, the relationships, the job, the car, all those things will just be bonuses. But they will not fill the void that is within you or me. They will not. So at the end of that day, it starts with you. Do we get it? The last point as I end is this. Happiness, and I think this may be like the biggest lesson that I've learned in the past 3 years. It is this. Happiness is where you are now or nowhere at all. I'll say it again. Happiness is where you are now or nowhere at all. It is where I am now, my reality now. You get, within me growing up, even you, we all had, I won't call them fantasies because it's not bad to be a dreamer. It's not. We all had dreams. We all had things that we wanted to pursue, things that we wanted to do, career paths that we wanted to take. And some are blessed that they are on that path. And you know what? Good for them. Celebrate them. Love on them. But if you find yourself in a place where you feel like, oh, things could be better. This is not what I envisioned my life would be like. Why isn't my life like for that person? No. Your now is your reality, and your reality is what you should accept. I wrote down in my book that your now is your reality. Be content now, because if you're unhappy, even when those other things you think you're yearning for or you think will make you happy, when they come, they still will not fill that void. Why? Because you yourself are empty. You yourself are empty. There is nothing within you. There is no love. There is no hope. There is no belief in yourself. Like you're just there floating. But let me tell you something. There is so much within you. Your now, your story now is what you should grab a hold of and live that story the best way that you can. Go after those things. You get, fix that relationship if it is something that you want. You get, do those things, love on those people, make those decisions, have those difficult conversations. But all in all, embrace your now. So as I finish very fast, I'll just bullet point. You get, bullet point is truths. Truth number 1, quitting is for winners. 2, taking no risk is actually the biggest risk of all. 3, call yourself out. Yes, do it. It's good for you. 4, closure is your choice. Yours and no one else's. 5, it is not your job to fix damaged people. It is not my job to fix damaged people. Next, if you are happy alone, you'll be happier together. With whoever comes into your picture, you'll be happier with them, but it starts with you. And lastly, happiness is where you are now, or nowhere at all. I'm so thankful that as I turn 30, I have all these things in my mind. It doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. It doesn't mean that I have arrived, no. But it means that I'm desirous of being a better person. I'm desirous of having more meaningful relationships. I'm desirous of letting go of habits that don't benefit me and picking up those that do. I'm desirous of having a better relationship with God as I grow older. I'm desirous of being a better mother and being a better friend and being a better sister. And I believe that these things have kind of like shaped and changed my perspective on how I think and how I relate. And I hope with all my heart that you have learned something. Now, our question of the day is this. Which of these truths did you find most relatable, and how can you apply this to your daily life to live a better life and be a better version of yourself? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Hi, baby. Baby, come on, let's walk.
Kitty. Kitty.
Who is that? Who is that with you?
Kitty.
Ah, I see. Baby,
Yes.
when was your birthday? When was your birthday? When did we celebrate your birthday? Do you remember?
My friend said, "Happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday, dear Maria. Happy birthday to you."
And when your friends, Vanange Checho, baby, and when your friends sang to you happy birthday, how did you feel?
Happy.
You felt happy.
Yes.
How many years did you make, baby?
3.
How many?
3.
Oh, baby, you're such a big girl now. What have you learned ever since you made 3 years old? Someone has just walked on to say it, and Maria is excited to see them. Baby, now that you're 3 years old, I want you to tell me what you have learned about saying please, thank you, and I am sorry. Baby, when do you say I am sorry?
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when do you say I am sorry?
I'm sorry for being mean.
You say you're sorry for being mean when you're mean.
I said sorry.
Do you like saying sorry?
Yes.
Why?
Because
Why? Why do you like saying I'm sorry, baby?
Heather, Kitty.
Heather and Kitty. But baby, those have nothing to do with each other. Okay, how about thank you? Why do you say thank you?
Because they give me lots of food.
Oh, you say thank you when they give you lots of food.
Yes.
So you say thank you when someone does something nice for you. Baby, how about please? When do you say please?
Because
Uh-huh.
I want something to eat.
You say please when you want something to eat. Please, may I have something to eat?
Yes.
Is that so?
Yes.
Baby, how about love? Tell me something small about love.
Love means I hug Mama.
Oh, love means you hug mama.
I had Jeffrey and Bao and Daddy.
Oh, baby, that makes me so happy to hear. Baby, how about family? Tell me something very
Mama,
small.
we hug Maria and Tassie.
Oh, family hugs you and let us see. Baby, how about mama's birthday? Do you know how old mama turns? How many years is mama going to be tomorrow? How old? Yeah?
How old are you, Mama?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to be 30 years old.
30 years old.
Yes, baby. And do you want to know the thing that I'm thankful for?
Me, I am 3.
Exactly. You're 3 and I'm 30. Baby,
Yes.
I love you.
How grown will Heather be?
Well, Heather is 4. Heather is 4 years old.
Me, I am 3.
Yes, Heather is... Oh, Heather is 3 and 7 months, baby. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yes.
What else?
I have to say something to you.
Yes, baby, I'm listening.
I'm sorry for being mean to you.
You're sorry for when you're mean to me, baby. I'm also sorry for when I'm mean to you. If I'm mean to you, baby.
I'm sorry for being mean to Daddy.
Yes, baby. It's very important to always say I'm sorry, isn't it? And thank you. And please. And be a person who loves those around you, isn't it? All right, look at me and sing a song for me and as you say bye. Tomorrow is my birthday, baby. Are you going to sing for me a song?
Today is Mama's birthday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, baby, sing for me a song.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Hey.
Happy birthday, dear Mama.
Hey.
Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
It's Mama's birthday tomorrow.
Yes, it is, baby. Thank you so much. I love you.
Love you.
Say bye.
Bye.
Say be kind to one another.
Be kind to other.
Oh, baby, I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're still with me up until this point, I'm very thankful for your time and belief in this journey, and I hope you stick around. Now, before I leave, I wanted to take out some time and send out a special shout out to some of these people who are supporters of the show. For example, Mr. Mubiru Sheki, thank you so much. Every time you hit me up in my inbox and send me a clip of you watching everything Mama, it warms my heart so much. So much. For all of you who reach out with positive feedback, encouraging me, critiquing